Hey everybody, wanted to do an update on the solar control system that I've got going on here. And just a quick overview. Here I have a Harbor Freight 2000 watt inverter, and I have that fed into GFI, which is feeding this power strip, and this cord is running over right now and feeding that refrigerator. It's also feeding this 18 volt charger. Off the other inverter, I have it fed into this guy, and that is feeding the house. I've got that fed right into the shed and wired into that panel right there. So that's that. And I've got the switches done, the three-way switches done, and I've got the rest of the breakers installed on the QO box or QO panel. So I've got 8 15 amps all together, and the way I've got this hooked up is this. Now let me show you here. What we've got right now is basically nothing coming into this box, because I've got all the switches in the up position, which the way I've got it set up is up goes to grid tie and down goes to batteries. Made it easy to remember. So let's take one switch and push it down. Let me start over real quick. Well, okay. So the way it works is the power is the DC is coming into here, and then I've got it fed, all 4 of them fed up into here. So they goes to the comes in here and up and feeds the common on each one of these, and then on one position I have it going back down into the box and feeding every other breaker, okay? And in the other position it comes down this side and feeds every other breaker on the other side, because in here there's 2 bus bars, 2 positive bus bars that I've got set up. So in the up position, this breaker, this one, and this one are set, and they were all tied together, and that comes back out this and goes to the grid tie inverter. And then in the down position, every other one is fed and goes in there. So I can shut all these off right now and nothing would happen. But so here's what we got. Right now I only have one switch in the down position, so I'm only sending it down to this breaker, and it's feeding the Outback charge controller, FlexMax 80, and that's feeding obviously the batteries. Now I'm going to go ahead and start flipping some more switches. Here's switch number 2, switch number 3, switch number 4. $640 watts, and it's pumping out 31 or 13.1 volts. So what I want to do is get the batteries drawn down a little further and see how many watts I can push into the charge controller. So right now we got all 4 switches down. Every bit of that power is going to this one, this one, this one, and this one, and feeding the charge controller. And we look over here and we're only producing 25 watts to the grid, and that's off of this alligator clip. These are the Harbor Freight panels and my 2 homemade panels. I haven't got them done up right yet. They're still running in on extension cords into this thing and running up there. So that's how that's what I've got those going to right now. So let's go ahead and flip it on back. You can see the difference. Look, we got 640 watts right now pumping into the charge controller. But watch what happens when I put them all to grid tie. Let's see how many watts we get out of this. Seems to level off right around 400 watts. And remember, I already had 25 watts in there, so that's only 375 watts. So after we convert it to AC, we're losing quite a bit. I think these are only like 85% efficient, but that's okay. We're pumping 400 watts into the house all day long. The only problem with this setup is that my meter is a digital meter, and if I'm not using all 400 watts into the house, then it's going to the grid and really not getting tracked. So I have the refrigerator. I've rearranged some of the circuits on my panel to make sure I'm drawing as much off of there as I can, and just keep switching it around until I get the maximum out of the whole system. And I plan on getting a deep freezer, and I'm going to set that out here, and then run that off the system as well. I'll probably run that off of the off-grid side, and there, I just heard a click because I turned everything to the grid tie. It shut off and went back to sleep. I'm going to go ahead and give it one panel, let it wake up. All right, so I got the QO box finished up. I've got the switches finished up. That was kind of weighing on me trying to get that done. I wanted to get that out of the way. I got some of this other stuff cleaned up. Now I can close the boxes. You can see it's I'll stand back a little bit. You can see it looks a lot neater. I've got the fuse. I got a fuse block installed there. I've got the breaker installed. Where is it on this? It's right in here. Got the breaker installed. I still have a disconnect that I want to wire in on the positive side. I think I'm going to have to set another box and get that installed, so I can disconnect the battery bank from everything. And then I'm going to rewire in my rectifier here and see if I can get some more of this type of setup going on. I have a line on some transformers that are 120 volt, 120 to 24 volt transformers, some big guys, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those transformers and wire them up and turn them into a charger, and I'm going to use the controls on this. So that'll be a project in the future. So that way, again, I run the 800 watt generator to power to charge the batteries during an outage, rather than running a big generator. So that's what I've got so far on the control side of things. I do believe that I'm going to take these my homemade panels that I have hooked up to there. I think I'm going to hook them back into the Harbor Freight. Right now I've got them wired in parallel, and then into and then series. I got them in series and then parallel running here, so I've got a much higher voltage coming in. And I think it works out to be about 40 volts coming in on those. So I'm going to unwire them that way and put them back in a single panel and just run them all in parallel into these controllers, and then I'm going to wire these into the batteries and leave them permanently on the off-grid system. So that's what I've got so far. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll get back to another video as soon as I can. Thanks.